What up, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am the most awkward person you will probably ever meet. So today I missed the first day of October because I had a choir concert, okay? And I was too tired to post. So this is going up October 2nd, and I'm gonna be trying to post a new video every day in October, and then a new video every day in December. I was gonna say Christmas, but Christmas isn't a month, it's a holiday. So my dog Trips over here is gonna be listening to the scary stories with me, huh, baby? Here you are. Aw, she's gonna say hi. Hi. This is Trips, my little baby dog. You're so cute. Okay, get off, I'm wearing black. Okay, so if you're new, my name is Courtney. Just subscribe for more awkward videos like this. I sing every Sunday. I'm posting scary videos every day in October, hopefully. Hopefully I don't miss a day. If I don't, I'm gonna be extremely proud of myself because I am so bad at procrastinating. Just like I keep talking and not actually getting on to what we're doing today. What we're doing today in this YouTube video, I will be reading you guys some scary stories. I don't know if they're actually scary. I'm bad with making things seem scary. Like, I don't have that kind of voice. I don't know why. But it says The Witching Hour, 13 True Ghost Stories You Shouldn't Read at Night, Volume 1. Now, I probably won't be reading all 13, even though these stories are kind of cute. I might do a part 2. But we'll just see. So, if you guys have not heard, the witching hour is 3 a.m. and it's also called the devil hour because supposedly it's called the devil hour because if you do anything this time, you can contact the devil or whatever, you know. But some videos like that on YouTube are actually fake, and some you can tell aren't. So yeah, but I'm gonna be reading you. Here's like a description of witching hour. I love how my spray thing just goes off right in the middle of my video. Like, thank you. Okay. Let's do this. I'm so ready for fall. I love my dog in the background. Trips, come here. Cuddle with me while I read these scary stories. Okay, the hour of 3 a.m. is a strange time known in Western culture as the witching hour. It is said to be a time when mystical creatures such as witches, demons, and ghosts are thought to appear and to be at their most powerful. Oh, he's loving. She's already scared. It can be traced back to the Catholic Church when no prayers were read between the hours of 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., making it the perfect time for evil forces to appear. So be warned, the following stories of ghosts, spirits, and other encounters are best enjoyed in daylight hours. Reading these tales at night could conjure up more than simple nightmares, especially if read during the witching hour. I'm not reading them during the witching hour. I'm not that stupid. Okay, I already think my house is haunted, even though nothing really has been going on. It's just I always feel someone watching me. Maybe it's because I have a lot of pets, but I don't know. And it's also dark outside, so I'm reading this at 7:30 at night. So, I mean, it's not the witching hour, but it's still dark outside. Okay, first story. Imaginary friend. I'm sorry my phone keeps shaking too. I'm like bouncing around on my TV tray, like, sorry. Okay. Imaginary friend. When I was younger, I had an imaginary friend who lived in this massive antique dresser. I vividly remember him telling me stories, although I have absolutely no recollection of what they actually were. I remember one day talking to my parents about it. Dad traveled quite a bit, so he wasn't up to date with what I was into. And when I started telling him about my dresser buddy, he wanted to know his name. It was something innocent like Peter, but I can't still see him going white in the face as I told him. I then drew a picture of Peter for him. The very next day, my dad and my uncle took out the dresser and burned it. It wasn't until a few years later when I found out my dad's little brother, my uncle, also had the same friend with the same name who lived in the same antique dresser. After a few months of the typical imaginary friend stuff, my uncle started having night terrors and couldn't sleep because of Peter. It got so bad that they had to move in out of his room before he managed to get back to normal. Ooh, scary. I don't know about you guys, but I've never had an imaginary friend. And having this kind of imaginary friend makes me never want to have one. I'm 17. If you're older and have imaginary friends, do you, boo? But I don't have imaginary friends. But if I did when I was younger, I don't know if I had imaginary friends when I was younger. I don't think I did, but I just hope it wasn't nothing like that. Okay. Now, these stories kind of spook me a little. Like, this one I'm about to read is called Cabin in the Woods, because a lot of Texas is trees, and there's a lot of woods. So, yeah. Okay. I touched my dog, and she goes crazy, I swear. Okay. The first time I moved away from home, I lived in an old cabin-like house that I rented really cheap. I never had a good night's sleep in there. I always tossed and turned and woke up several times during the night. But it wasn't until after a few weeks things started to get weird. In the beginning, it was just small things that I didn't really think too much about, like keys missing and cups and plates not being where I thought I had left them. Then I started waking up in the morning to find various drawers open and things laying around like someone had been in a hurry searching for something. I even came home to a wide open main door and decided to change the locks. But even then, when I was home, with the door locked, I could walk past and just in the corner of my eye, see the door slam open. One time, I was cat sitting one of my friend's cats, and it would just sit for hours in the middle of the room and toss its tail from side to side and watch as if it was following something around the room with its eyes. Creeped me out. If you can only imagine what it felt like to see that cat slowly following something that floats randomly around the room and finally stops right beside you. After a while, I just couldn't live there anymore, and I finally moved out. See, that is why I don't want to move out on my own. You never know what's haunted. You never know. I'm not saying this was haunted, but it sounds like it was haunted. Like, you never know. You never know. You never know. That's all I can say is you never know. Like, my grandma's house, she came home one day and all the drawers were open, but there was no forced entries. All the drawers in her room were open, the doors were open, her closet door was open. Like, it was crazy. And so we think she has a ghost and called Toby. Because there was no forced entry, she called the cops. And there was no forced entry, which means it had to come from inside the house. But no one lived with her at the time. So, and it couldn't have been my grandpa because my grandpa, like, doesn't come home on the weekends that much, because he, like, they're not separated, of course, but like it's a big story. But it's like, I do not like staying at my Meemaw's place, my grandma's or whatever, because I'm like, Toby, can you not scare me today? Can you not? Okay, this one is called The Disconnected Number. A few years ago, my brother would get a call on his cell phone around 2, 3 a.m. every night. He would answer it, and it was this hellish sounding noise, like static mixed with screams. He changed his cell number after a month of this, and it stopped. Then after a week or so, it began again. The exact same noise, exact same time. Finally, one day, he decided to back dial the call. It was an old man that had no clue what he was talking about. Still, the calls persisted. If he didn't answer, it would call a few more times. No messages were left. He decided to say screw it, ended his contract with his phone company, switched to a new one, and then got another new number. Who guessed it? The screaming, static calls continued after a short delay. By this time, he was terrified every night, unsure why this was happening. He backed out of the number again and got a different person. Around this time, he lost his job and his phone. The call stopped, of course. His phone was disconnected now. One day, my mom asked me to listen to this weird message she got on her home phone. It was a static screaming. He showed my brother, and he was freaking out. He backed out of the number again, and it said the number was disconnected this time. Never heard from it again after that. Okay, I don't know if it's just me, but this brings up, like, what I want to tell you. I don't know if it's just me, but every time I get a phone call and I'm by myself or it's like late at night, I never answer. And if I don't save it, I never answer. I'm terrified to answer phone calls at night or if I'm by myself, because I'm just like, it's gonna be a stalker, be like, yo, I see you out of your window. Like, something like that. I'm gonna look over, there's gonna be someone peeking over. Like, no, okay, no. But I usually answer phone calls if I don't know them. But it has to be like when I'm around someone or something like that, okay? Anyways, I'm gonna read 2 more stories, 4 and 5, because 4 is like really short for some reason, and then there's 5. So, 4, the handprint. Heard a tapping on shit. Heard a tapping on my window at night. Next morning there was a handprint on the outside of my window. I live on the 3rd floor of an apartment building. See how short it was? But it's still scary. Like, interesting. No comment, no comment. Okay, number 5. And then get ready for part 2. Probably tomorrow. Number 5 is called Don't Turn Away. I was a kid when this happened. My uncle and I were finishing up chopping and gathering firewood for my grandmother because it was getting dark. Driving back on a dirt road at about 30 miles per hour, give or take, I had this awful sense of being watched. Before I could turn to look out my window, my uncle quickly shouted, "Don't!" I completely froze. My heart felt like it was beating out of my chest, then completely stopped when I heard a tap on my window. My uncle sped up and was loudly praying in my native language. I didn't know what was going on, and I thought it was over till our truck suddenly dipped from the bed. My uncle then started saying, "Look at me and don't turn away," over and over. Then I heard it again, tap, tap, but from the window behind me. It was getting harder for me to breathe, and I wanted to cry. A minute or 2 passed and the truck dipped again. My uncle looked around and sighed. It was quite beside the truck and the road. He looked at me and said, "We will ask your father to do a prayer in the morning, so the evil will forget our faces." I remember curling up on the seat and just staring at the radio, watching the time, listening to my uncle sing an old prayer till we got to my grandmother's house. I wonder what was like, okay, just leave me in suspense. Like, I want to know what happened. What? Like, what was on your truck? Like, what was dipping your truck? What was tapping on the window? I want to know. I guess we don't get to know. Okay, I will be doing 6 through, I don't know, maybe 13 tomorrow. Like, maybe I'll do the rest of them tomorrow. They don't look that long. Like, they look kind of short. Except for like, maybe I'll do 6 to 9. Sound like a good idea. Okay, cool. So there'll be 3 parts to this. It'll be great. Okay, so I really hope you guys enjoyed those scary stories. Like I said, I'm not good with telling scary stories, so I hope you guys enjoyed it anyways. My Instagram will be down below, and so will my Snapchat, and so will my Twitter. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 300 subscribers. Hit that thumbs up, comment what scary videos I should do down below, along with what videos I should do for singing Sundays. I'm exhausted and I have my coffee over there, so I'm gonna go drink it and I'm gonna go to sleep because I'm exhausted. Anyways, go follow me, go add me, do all that stuff, and I love you guys so much. Until tomorrow, bye.